Hey everyone, welcome back to Podcast The Sequel, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the continued. My name's Ryan.
I'm Marissa.
I'm Manira.
I'm Joseph.
And with the upcoming anniversaries of both Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, and the upcoming election, we thought what better way than to talk about Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. But before we do that, we have to talk about Home Alone 1. So let's get into the numbers. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, man. Home Alone, 1990. Let's get into this.
It's a good year.
18 mil. Box office, $476.7 million. Has a cinema score of an A, which is very solid. Macaulay Culkin was only paid $110,000, and I will get into that with the second one because Homeboy got a raise.
He did.
And we'll get into that when we get into it. But yeah, pretty solid. Made a shit ton of money. John Hughes, who's the writer-producer of this film, because of this movie, ended up signing like a 6-picture deal with like 20th Century Fox, which ended up with the sequel and all that stuff happening. So yeah, very successful, very big film, very big Christmas movie. So
yeah, this is one of my favorite like holiday movies, but also like one of my favorite movies in general. I really like these movies a lot. Later on down the line, not so much. I've never seen any of those, but
I think we discussed like that we've all only seen up to like with the collection we've only seen only up to like 3.
Yeah, I vividly remember renting 3, and I think
I
that's
saw it in
it.
theaters.
I rented the third one too.
Yeah, I only got because as soon as it came out, I was like, "Who the fuck is that kid?" It's like, what the
I
hell
feel
is
like
this
he's
shit?
like a notable kid too. Like I
Could
feel like
fool
he's
me.
known for like other movies.
I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, yeah, somebody has to.
Some asshole.
Yeah, some kid.
He reminds me of the boy from I think it's Dunstan Checks In. It's not the same kid, I believe, but I feel like it's like a similar.
All I remember from that is Jason Alexander is the dad.
He's from other things.
Yes.
And
Damn.
I think
Core memory.
who is it? What's his name from the other actor, like Rupert Grant?
Yeah.
Not Rupert.
Tarzan's
Grant.
the only thing I
Rupert
know.
Grant is from Harry Potter.
Oh, he's Max Keeble from Max Keeble's Big Move. No?
No.
I'm looking at you specifically,
No,
Joseph,
I
because you're a
don't-
Nickelodeon
You
kid.
have to show me an image of it for me to know.
Oh, it's the one where
name.
he like pranks the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I
It's
was
the
like.
poster alone. Okay.
Yeah. I was like the poster alone says it.
Yeah.
I know it's not like a huge movie, but
it was-
that was like the one thing where I was like, I know he's in like another. It says he's in the Cable Guy too, but he's uncredited. So yeah.
I think his greatest role is he was the voice of young Tarzan in Tarzan
The movie or the animated series?
movie.
Like
He's also in
you mean the
Titan
Phil
AE.
Collins classic?
Phil Collins classic.
Dude, that soundtrack.
He was also
great.
in something else
He went
that
hard.
popped up, but it doesn't matter.
It's gone now.
Obviously, the first 2 are the what we're sticking
of the
with.
crop.
Yeah, we're
The
sticking
OGs.
franchise.
Yeah, we're sticking with it. I love Home Alone. I watch it multiple times every year. I think it's a great Christmas classic. It's definitely in that lineup of like what you watch every year for Christmas. Chris Columbus, the director, not the explorer. As we discussed with Minnie.
Chris, that's what we have. He has a day for Home
Not
Alone.
his first Christmas movie. He also started directing and producing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but because he did not get along with Chevy Chase, he opted out of the project.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely not
Yeah,
surprised.
that's-
Obviously, we've heard
No,
multiple.
yes.
Yeah,
We know
a lot of people have an issue with
It's a normal
Chevy Chase.
occurrence with that man. So.
And also, if you want to count Harry Potter films as Christmas movies, question mark?
Yeah, that's aspects to it. Yeah.
I mean, there's
People always
Christmas
say
time
that.
in it,
Yeah.
but well, you're going through a school year,
seasons,
so
yeah.
of course,
Obviously,
yeah,
they're
of
gonna
course
hit
it's
all
gonna
the
be.
seasons,
Yeah.
but that doesn't necessarily
I
mean,
mean,
it's
it's
like a
yeah.
Halloween.
Well, yeah, because they
movie.
go through Halloween, Christmas. Yeah, they go through
Yeah.
all the things. But great movie, all around. I think it's very, it's kid friendly. I think it's definitely adult friendly, especially if you grew up with it. It's 1990. Very. What did you point to?
Because I grew up with it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. Well, yeah, you were born within that time frame. Won't give away your age, but
I'm old as fuck.
not that old. I'm only a year behind you. I was like, I'm only a year behind you.
Not that old guy.
But yeah, great movie. Chris Columbus, known for other movies. I mean, Harry Potter. I wrote down the list. I didn't know if I
Was
wanted
Harry
to bore
Potter
you,
on there
but
twice?
Harry Potter's 1 and 2. Well, technically 3 as well. But I was like, I know you love this movie, Little Nemo.
Oh, he did Little Nemo.
He did Little Nemo.
Little Nemo.
He did not. I just want to clarify.
I've never even heard of that movie.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you would love it. I would like to clarify that he did not direct all these movies. He was just somehow in it. So he could have directed, he could have produced, he could have done all these things. So
well,
I
shit.
can double check because I want to say he did direct
Portal.
Little
We're
Nemo.
gonna have to look that up.
Portal.
I
But yeah,
don't know.
Gremlins, Goonies, Adventures in Babysitting, Little Nemo, Mrs. Doubtfire,
Adventures
Harry
in
Potter
Babysitting.
1 and 2. He produced Jingle All the Way as well. So I know that's another one of our favorite Christmas movies. Did he direct it? Oh, he did the screenplay.
Okay. There we go.
Little Nemo's a banger, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
Little
check that
Nemo's
out. I've never
great.
seen
I think you would like. Little
I thought
Nemo.
you said you didn't like it. You're like, no.
It was always on, and I just thought like he was just so.
I've never seen it on anything. I was like,
I
thought I was the only person who had this VHS.
No, it was on. I'm trying to remember what it was on. I feel like it was like on like a Cartoon Network-y.
I feel
kinda
like
thing.
that's as anime as I've ever like really been like passionate about. Like I understand like
It's
Studio
what
Ghibli
was it?
stuff.
It's like Little
Yeah.
Nemo Adventures in Slumberland or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It
I
was
was-
distributed by Disney, so maybe.
Maybe it was
that's
Disney.
why.
I don't know where I saw it on, but I know I saw it on TV. I did not own this. And I always thought like his little creature friend was really annoying. I think it was. Like a
buddy was like
squirrel?
a little flying squirrel.
Yeah, it was like
with
a flying
little
squirrel.
aviator hat. It
Yeah.
was amazing. Are you kidding me?
No, it's cute.
No,
I'm
I
just
don't-
saying
I
it's
don't
not.
I
It's,
don't know, man.
I don't know. I think I'm just.
Maybe, but I can't.
I would watch it for Mooney.
I'm gonna.
I would
Okay,
watch
we
it.
can all watch it
It's
I would
on,
watch it
right?
for
It's
Mooney.
on one of the streaming services.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So,
free?
but what I'm getting at with like bringing up Chris Columbus, and then I know we brought up John Williams as well. Like these are just like you have like the attacks of like a powerhouse,
Yeah.
like
The
film.
recipe to make.
Yeah,
a really
like
good
John. Yeah,
Christmas
John
movie,
Williams.
especially.
John Williams, notable. I mean,
Great.
Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
Indiana
Great.
Jones,
Great.
Jaws.
Great.
Like you could go down the list of all
Great.
of the, like all of the things that he's done. You have all of these actors that are like I don't know if they're necessarily well known at the time because I can't remember what Macaulay Culkin's if this is his first role. I don't know. It's not
not
because
his
he did
first
Uncle
role.
Buck, which is also I know it's John Hughes. I don't know it is Chris Columbus as well. I think they both did that as well.
They wrote this movie specifically with him in mind.
They did, but they also had, I think they offered it to actually, which is, I found this out later, and that's why I turned to you earlier, where I was like, oh, that's interesting. They offered the role to John Mulaney,
Damn.
which I think is hilarious because he has that whole joke about Home Alone 2 being like, the streets are numbered. And I always love that joke. But
How old was he?
I don't know John Mulaney's age,
don't-
but they surpassed it so
Yeah,
that
I've
he
never
could
seen
do
him as
like
a
a
kid actor.
kids, it was like a kids, like, theater
I also
group or
didn't know he was
something.
like a child
42.
actor.
Me
Yeah.
neither. I only heard about him when his comedy started like popping up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so he ended up doing like a kids theater thing instead, and his parents were like, "No, we don't want him to do this movie." So instead, he did that. But I guess he was offered or auditioned for it. I read
all
that
panned
somewhere.
out.
Well, I think it pans out in terms of like it's so funny now that he has that joke, that Home
Yeah.
Alone 2 joke, because I mean that's kind of full circle for me because I love that joke.
It's a great joke.
I don't know if it'll know. I read that up. I thought it was funny.
No, that's super
Um,
interesting. I didn't know that. That's something I
Yep.
never knew.
Me neither. No.
Because I
Yeah.
know other little fun facts and tidbits and stuff.
Oh, there's so many. Yeah, I was
Nothing
like, I mean,
crazy.
I'm sure we'll each have our like little shot at like fun facties. And then I have to note also just in terms of like the big notable pieces of this movie written by John Hughes, which we obviously know as a ballpark, knock it out of the ballpark writer, just 16 Candles and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I have a list as well, but I mean, I think we all know that all know the name.
Yeah,
So.
Breakfast Club, all those jams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So, R.I.P. R.I.P. to a
I
couple
honestly
people,
don't
but
know, yeah. I'll wait on that because I feel like you do the little RIP, like good guy, and then it's like.
no, I'm sure there's like
demons
I
come
think
out.
I want to
I'm
say
gonna
there's like
hold off.
stuff that's come out that he was I'll say like particular about things.
Yeah,
I feel like I've read that.
I read that he held grudges a lot. So like, if you
Oh,
ever
yeah.
like he loved working with the same people, but as soon as it was like, something was like I couldn't make a scheduling thing or something, it was like you're out.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
never
out.
working with you ever again.
Yeah. But I mean,
never
like,
gonna
I kind
forget.
of feel that in a sense. Like, if you find somebody that you really love working with, I mean, like, think about everybody today. Like, Adam Sandler has his own,
His
like,
little clique of guys,
yeah,
yeah.
like his, like, little group of people.
Yeah, someone we just talked about, Flanagan.
Oh, Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
uses the same crew.
He uses
the
He
same
loves
people,
working
too.
with the same
Yeah.
people.
It's like there's a lot of directors that have like a few guys they always go back to.
Oh yeah,
Like
Martin
James Gunn.
Scorsese.
Yeah, James Gunn.
Yeah.
Always goes to
I
Sean
was
Gunn.
gonna say Martin
Always
Scorsese.
goes his brother.
Yeah, he was gonna
throws
Sean
his
Gunn.
brother in that shit.
Yeah, it's always in there.
I specifically brought up Martin Scorsese
Oh,
because
for
of Joe Pesci.
Pesci,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was like
yeah.
Joe
Pesci.
Pesci. So
True.
You brought it up. I think when we were watching it though, like when Pesci's like mumbling.
oh
it's
yeah,
like he didn't want to cuss.
yeah.
like
He's
he
known.
usually
We know.
does.
He's
Yeah.
known perpetually for cussing.
Mhm.
So he made up his own like little gibberish to kind of get through, like I guess
Those scenes.
the pains of it was like
Yeah.
the traps and things.
There's a few cuss words thrown into this though, right? In this film, like they throw shit in there and like here and there.
There's shit and there's
Yeah.
like ass, but not that much.
No,
Like,
it's very
sporadic.
it's like very quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it is.
I'd have to
Also-
read. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, because I know like they almost say like in the second one when he's the elevator's closing, he's like, "You little sh," and then it cuts it right before.
I know they say ass because they say it in both movies. Marv, I think is his name.
Is it
He
Daniel
says
Stern?
shit, yeah.
Yeah,
He
Daniel
says shit
Stern.
in like one of the things, but it's very like quick.
Yeah.
And it goes about it.
I mean, this is PG, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
PG, but it's
PG.
also 1990.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1990.
So
When things
it
were
was a little
given.
different. Yeah,
I mean,
like
Jaws is PG. I was like,
Yeah.
Jaws is PG.
Something else is PG too, and they say I think it's
Poltergeist?
Spaceballs as well, but they also
Oh,
say
yeah.
fuck in it.
Yeah.
because you're allowed one.
The rating system was a lot different.
Yeah, now they're
Oh
it's
yeah, they
more
took their
context
liberties.
Yeah.
They took their
Yeah.
liberties
how
well.
many you get, which is funny.
Speaking of Joe Pesci, I have one fun fact for this one. Well, one of them. But he was not originally chosen to be Harry Lime. Do you guys know who it was?
Well, wait, Joe Pesci.
Yes, he
Joe
was not
Pesci-
originally chosen to be. They didn't envision his character, Joe Pesci, to play Harry Lime. They had someone else who originally turned down the role. It's another big actor, kind of in the realm of Joe Pesci in like movies. that he's done.
Oh, I think I read this
Was
somewhere.
Ray
No,
Liotta.
Was it Robert? Was it Robert De Niro?
Really?
Yeah.
See that?
I was gonna say, wait. I was like, oh wait, I know this. I was like, I know this. I
Robert
read
De
this.
Niro.
Just little kid.
Fucker.
This little kid.
This little
You
fucking
gonna
kid.
let
right
him? Marv, you gonna let him? Fucker.
Yeah,
I can't get the voice right.
No.
I thought that was a little interesting thing. 'Cause I know you
No,
love
yeah,
Robert De Niro.
that could, yeah, that makes kind of.
Yeah, that's true. That would have been a completely different movie for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
An equal amount of blueberries in each muffin. Sorry, I always go back to that.
Equal amount.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
To play off of, I was gonna say yours. I was gonna say, I know that Daniel Stern was not originally supposed to play.
Yep.
Um,
Marv.
Marv. Yeah, I was gonna say Marv. It was supposed to be Daniel Roebuck, which, if you do not know the name, he is actually sequel royalty, and here is why.
Ooh. we have
Are you ready for this?
a hero now for our podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say known for all of the things. I think I have one for like everybody. Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell, Agent Cody Banks 2,
All right, now we're talking.
Phantasm, Ravager, Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie one,
Oh.
U.S. Marshals, and then most recently Terrifier 3.
That was the most random grouping of movies.
Yeah.
So many
Highs
different
and
What a
lows
list. What a resume.
of like.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many.
This great
He's in
movie.
so many different
Rob Zombie.
things. Like he's in like other non-sequel things. He's just like one of those people that's like perpetually in. And it's so funny because I just watched. They were having like a Agent Cody Banks marathon the other day.
Isn't there only 2? How long have you done a marathon?
I was on business. I was in a hotel. They had limited service for videos, and it was just on. And I was like, "Fuck it, why not? Like, I'll just watch." And he's the dad. He plays the dad, but he's in 1 and 2. So
have to
good job
remember
coming
that
back.
now.
But yeah, he's in a lot of. You would see if you saw his face. He's just one of those actors that like is in a bunch of stuff. He's never won like an Oscar kind of thing, but like he's just well known. But I
with
guess
titles like Halloween 2 and Devil's
Devil's
Rejects.
Rejects.
he was in the first Halloween too, so obviously he works with Rob Zombie a lot.
Yeah.
It seems. But I guess he didn't test well with Joe Pesci, so they brought it back around to Daniel Stern. Because originally, it was the pay wasn't enough, so that's why they.
Eventually, we will get to talk about him again as well, from another little movie called City Slickers.
Oh
Which is what I
yeah.
always think about Daniel Stern.
Okay, that's fair.
Curly's gold.
I forgot what the other movie was, but Daniel Stern and actually that's why they tested well together because they were in another movie together. I forgot what the name of it is.
Joe Pesci was in it. I don't recall though.
He's not in. I don't think he's
No,
in
I
City
think he's in-
Slickers.
yeah,
No, but
that's
it's
like Billy
another.
Crystal and-
It's another
Yeah.
'80s movie. I want to say. I like briefly like skipped past it, and that's why they work so well together because they've
Okay.
worked together before.
That's super,
Yeah, they had
that's super
that.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then same thing
Yeah.
too with Macaulay Culkin. Like Macaulay Culkin was in Uncle Buck,
Mm.
so like they kind of knew how he worked up until then.
Yeah.
But
There's that history there.
yeah, there's always. I mean, yeah,
Mm.
Chris Columbus had history with him through Uncle Buck. Even though John Candy doesn't have any scenes, also in Uncle Buck, which is why him and Chris Columbus did the movie, and why John Candy did the movie for pretty much peanuts. So he came in, filmed for 23 hours, improvised his entire polka scene, and then was out the door.
I love that.
Oh, the Polka King in the West.
Polka, kiss
Or
me
East,
polka.
West. Yeah, it was like East.
I love when they're talking about their kids, and then she was like, "Well, I need to tell." I was like, "Well, you brought it up."
Yeah, well, you brought it up. Bitch.
Yeah.
You're the one who left your kids at home, so.
Yeah.
I know we'll definitely talk more about it too, but I definitely think that this is one of those movies which is like so many quotable lines in it. Like second one, I think like I wrote down
For
like all
us,
of these
too,
quotes
like in our
for
everyday lives. We'll,
yeah.
every time we order a pizza or something, it's
Oh, cheese pizza. Or just every time they're like, "Do you want to pay cash or card?" And it's like stolen credit card. Great stuff.
I know for a while, I was very much like no changing my mind that the movie that he watches was a real movie. The Angels with
Oh,
Filthy
yeah.
Souls. I was like, yeah, no, I remember. I feel like I remember that movie somehow. No, it's not a real movie at all. It's specifically made for
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so fun though.
But I was like, it looks exactly like another movie that I remember.
Mhm.
But he's so good at it.
Very black and white.
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that Chris Columbus studied 1930s and 1940s like film noir to kind of get it exactly right to make it seem like you are actually watching a movie within a movie. So I was like, oh, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Sick.
It's pretty cool.
And it's interesting too because I had just read too, like for 2, like that game show that he's watching in the beginning
Mhm.
isn't even a real game show.
Yeah.
The Ding Dang Dong. And I was like, but I was going through the credits and it was like contestant on show, and I was like, Rip
Taylor.
Taylor was in this thing, and I was like, oh, it must be from like the stock footage from the old game show. And then I was like, it's not even a real game show. So they made a fake game show too.
I think that's awesome. I
And I
think
was like,
that's
I
so
love
cool.
that, yeah.
I think that's super cool.
I like that they sprinkle in Johnny Carson though.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Fill your like universe with fictitious. I love that.
Yeah.
I have one other.
and I was like waiting
Random
for
fun
Mooney to
fact.
like roll out her red
So
facts.
when this movie came out in 1990s, Chris Columbus and John Hughes were actually sued for this movie. A 1989 French horror film called, I can't pronounce it.
Is it Home Alone but in French?
You know,
It's like, is that Home
that's
Alone
an
in French?
interesting movie. I
It's
don't think I've heard of. I can't pronounce
3615 Code Pierre Noel. Pierre Noel.
Yeah, Pierre Noel.
So
Yeah,
basically,
Noel.
the movie is about a young man who is left at home with his elderly, like, grandfather, who is basically a vegetable,
Hmm.
It's
and
not valid.
their home is being invaded by Santa Claus, by a man dressed up as Santa
Wow.
Claus.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so they sued them, saying like this is basically a ripoff of the movie that came out a year before, but they lost the case because the film was never distributed outside of France
No.
and did not come to the U.S. till 2018. So like,
And he's
years
just
and years
sliding
later.
away his copy of it.
Just pocketing the bad boy.
Never came over here.
Never
Oh.
seen it.
Um,
Oh.
I read 2 things about how this like movie came about in terms of like ideas. I heard one that is just John Hughes was sitting down and he was like, "All right, it's like I'm getting ready to go on vacation for Christmas. Like, what do I always forget? Is it like your keys, your wallet, your phone, like your whatever?" And he's like, "Well, I would never leave without my kids." And then that produced the idea of like, well, what if I did? Like, what if I left my kid at home? And then the other one that I found was that it's based off of a 1971 psycho thriller movie starring Dustin Hoffman called Straw Dogs. It's basically Straw Dogs for kids. Is
that's
basically
random.
what it's
I
like
never thought
basically
about
what I
that.
saw. Yeah, I looked it up and I was like, I've never heard of this. I've
Never
never
heard of
seen
it.
this. Like, I don't know what this is, but I was starting to read a little bit. And I was like, okay, like there's like pranks and stuff. It's obviously a lot darker. But I don't know. I think we've always, and I think it's fun that we did this in this order, but I've always heard it as like Saw for kids, which obviously
Yeah.
Saw came
Yeah.
after, but like, I think it's fun that we just did Saw 2 and now
Yes. Yeah.
we're doing
Yeah,
Home
they
Alone
have
2.
that like, oh, it's that conspiracy theory.
That back and forth.
Yeah.
That was strange.
I don't think anybody heard it.
My
Not
fun
only
fact
about
is
Halloween.
not so much a fun fact, but a play on a fun fact. So I had read, obviously, like with this movie, it's very like different kinds of like, you know, buddy comedy, very physical comedy. It was very much loosely based on like cartoons. Very specifically, like they talk about like Roadrunner, kind of like
Coyote,
kind of Coyote kind of thing. And much so that like a lot of people have compared characters to actual cartoon characters. So in that fun fact that I always like in our group, I like to cast our friends as things. I have casted a few people from Home Alone as Looney Tunes characters.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I just did a few. I did a few for the first one and I did a few for the second one.
Okay.
So I have obviously Kevin as Bugs Bunny,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of run the show. I did Marv and Harry. I did Marv as Yosemite Sam, and I did Harry as Daffy Duck. I changed it for the second one, but originally that's how I did it. Gus Polanski I did as Porky Pig, or you could also argue that he's Foghorn Leghorn. Can I argue either of those? Uncle Frank as Elmer Fudd, and then I did Old Man Marley as Sylvester.
Okay.
I didn't cast everybody because obviously it would take up
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
But just wanted to throw that out there that it's a fun idea because that's why I love it because it's a fun for like you grew up as a kid with cartoons, and then there's also this idea of like he's a kid at home. Like as a kid, you're very much trying to show that you're an adult and you're ready to be left home alone, or that you're ready to be taken seriously as an adult. And like obviously this is Kevin's chance to basically show that he can hold his own because the entire time in the first half of the movie they're like, oh, you can't even pack your suitcase, like, you know, we get your laissez competent or whatever they say. So I think it's very fun, like as a kid growing up and watching as an adult, it's very nostalgic because of the cartoons that we used to watch, but it's also fun because now that we're as kids watching this movie and now adults, we kind of know what that's like to kind of want to be grown up and show that we can take care of ourselves. And then you get there and come face to face with your robbers, and now it's, you know, you take into consideration like, okay, do I fight or do I flight? And he actually does both, where originally he's kind of runs away because he is a kid, but then decides to fight later on and ends up winning the day, if you will.
Yeah, his adult grocery shopping trip
Oh,
is
so fun.
hilarious. Because he's like, yeah, we need laundry detergent, we need this, we need that.
Got the fabric softener.
How's the microwave?
Maybe
macaroni
I'll
and
get
cheese?
the macaroni and cheese and then the plastic army men in the bag. I'm like, yeah, just for the kids, you know?
For the kids.
For the
Yeah.
kids.
And he's like, I got a coupon for that.
Yeah. So it's very like that tongue-in-cheek, like jumping back and forth between I need to grow up and also still want to be a kid.
And also like dealing with family during the holidays. It's another
Oh
little-
yeah, with dealing with like
Mhm.
the cheap uncle and like the
cousins and
cousins that
yeah.
you know take
I'm
over
sorry,
your
Mr.
space.
Cheapskate.
Oh, no, I love that line.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
Cool.
Yeah.
My favorite is when that like when the spills all happen and like the uncle
Yeah.
like backs up and then like Kieran Culkin's face just like
It's smushed in.
just,
And then Uncle Frank's like, look what you did, you little jerk.
oh he's
The way he
okay.
says it.
I feel like and we can talk about it more too in the second one, but we need to discuss this family of just like
Oh,
Terrible.
holy moly, like I want them to be redeemable in the end, but like they literally left their kid at home.
Yeah.
And I understand there's a lot of people and like they have 5 kids, we counted that out.
Yeah.
But like good lord, like she's just the mom, like, and then the dad doesn't seem to give a fuck
No.
regardless.
No.
Like
He's indifferent
He's
almost
counting
entire,
the dollars that they're spending.
like he kind of like cares a little bit, but like
He's there for a free trip.
he's just like
Yeah.
then when he comes back he's like, hey, how you doing? You're fine. All right, bye. Like rub some dirt in it, you're good. Like he's very much that. And then like obviously like the Buzz, the older brother, is a little fucking asshole, like just not
Buzz, yeah, especially in the second one. I think they
Yeah.
pissed me off more in the second one. We'll get into that
Oh,
eventually.
yeah.
But like when the dad
at
comes
least this
home,
one he's redeemable at
Yeah,
the end
and
where
then-
he's just like, you know what, you didn't do so bad.
in the first one when the dad gets there and she was like, I thought there was no flights. He's like, well, if you just would have waited another day, you would. It's like, but your kid's home alone, brother.
Yeah,
like,
like,
you gotta
you're
get there.
trying-
Like,
yeah.
Well, no, and we even watched it, like we watched both together, and like even that scene where the cop goes, like I always get mad because the cop isn't like, hey, we're just the
No,
police,
yeah.
we're checking in. He just knocks, waits, like kind of looks through the door and he's like, there's nobody here but the lights are on. Like
dead giveaway.
What?
That's kind of my argument too, though. Is like, but if you heard that, would you trust it or open the door to see if it was true or not? If you're, a kid.
I mean, he could look through the window and obviously see it. Well, yeah, that's true because like Harry does dress up as like a cop,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's true. That's arguable. But I feel like he could say, "Hey, you know, your parents called. They're in Paris. We're just looking for you to
Yes.
make sure that you're okay. You can come down to the station with us, or you can stay here. We just want to make sure you're good."
I'll just say that even though that's a thing, like with my family, we had a code. We had like a secret password.
I feel like a lot of
that
families
was,
do.
like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who it is. If somebody's like, hey, you know, like your mom's in trouble. She's in the hospital. I need to take you. Like, obviously, I'm a person. I'd be like, what's the password? And they'd be like, what are you talking about? And I'd be like,
Nope.
Nope.
deuces,
Bye.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
And
I think
I'd
that's a
skateboard
fun.
away. Jerk. Yeah.
I think that's good. I mean, like very safety. I mean, especially with
Yeah.
kids. Yeah.
Because then that
They'll
way,
run
if like
and-
the cop was there, just boom, 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 like, hey, pineapple or whatever whatever your family.
you'd be like, oh, safe. Okay, cool.
Like, oh, cool, sick. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like that could have been handled differently. Plus, like I understand that most people travel during the holidays to see their families and they're in and out. But
Not the
just
entire
I
week,
just
though.
highly doubt that there was nobody neighbor wise
Well, his
that they
neighbor
could have
was there.
called or like ever. Yeah, I was like, you telling me there's nobody? Because we discussed this the other night. We're like, how well do you know your neighbors growing up, now, like anything like that? And I was like, I knew everybody on my block. You're telling me that not one of them stayed home and that's their families coming to them?
Nope.
Like, you're not telling me one person on that street.
I mean, it just it depends. It depends on your whole setup. Like right now, I couldn't tell you one thing about our neighbors.
Oh, I mean,
know
not
things,
now. Yeah, I was like,
but
well,
I don't
we
know
yeah.
names. I don't know what they do for a living. I don't know anything.
Yeah. I mean, the area that we live in is very much like, it seems very secluded. Like people are kind of like in their own world, in their own space. But I'm just saying, like, if you lived in like an actual like cul-de-sac kind of thing, I feel like it's a lot more like, you know, like a lot of people that live in cul-de-sacs do like 4th of July barbecues and they come out and
they
they,
have block
they have
parties
kids.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I
and
think
do
it
stuff like
depends on
that.
the community that you live in.
For sure. Yeah. Because if you're
I
in like
lived in
more of
one and I
a,
didn't know shit about anybody.
Yeah, because when the siblings are
Yeah.
talking about him being by himself, Buzz is like, we live in the most boring part of America. Nothing's gonna happen to him.
Yeah,
and it
that's-
makes it seem
yeah.
like that's just a dead
Yeah.
little area where just they don't probably know their neighbors. I don't know. The way he made it seem was just like he's fine. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing going on there.
yeah. He couldn't have called Gus
But also, I think-
Buzz's girlfriend.
Half of the neighbors, I want to say, on their street. Yeah, right. Wolf. They're on. They were all out for vacation as well because they're sitting there in Marv's.
Well, yeah, and he counts all
4
the
or 5 of
houses,
them.
yeah.
It's like that one, and that one, and he's in between, I think, too.
I just think it's wild with all those big houses that somebody wouldn't be like, oh, you know who's got a big house? We should go to their place for Christmas.
Especially like the little kid, the neighbor that like walks into like the car and stuff.
He's like, I'm this person.
Yeah, I'm this person. I live across the street, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Where's
there
this
you
car
go.
do?"
He
Like,
couldn't. Yeah, that kid's not home
Here's the
alone.
thing, though, too. Like, what
No,
if
but they said he was going. Kevin addresses it that their family went to Florida, I believe. He says something that their family is going somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he mentions it too.
And then also, like, he says that and he introduces himself. And I was like, I wonder if the McAllister family is just always so wrapped up in their own fucking bullshit that they don't know anything
Oh,
about
that they don't
Maybe.
realize.
Just not
Yeah.
aware.
So they never made friends
Yeah.
with the neighbors. Like, we have 5 kids we got to look after, and I'm running around doing my shit.
and they're maybe possibly
They seem like their lives are very
yes.
hectic.
Yeah.
Because, having 2 kids right now, I think, well, because we were reading, like, a thing, some sort of toll or a poll or something. Sorry, not toll.
Toll bowl.
Some sort of statistical research that said that as of right now in 2024, if having 2 kids is the equivalent of having like 9 kids.
Oh, we were looking at cost for how much it costs to have a kid
Yeah.
nowadays in this day and age. Because I think it used to be like maybe like $2,000 or something like that, and now it's like close to like I think like 25-30 grand per child, and that's like. That's just initially that's like initially like to have a kid and then perpetually every year because like
Yeah.
when you're like counting for like hospital bills, diapers and all that stuff.
Clothes,
Clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always growing. They're always going to need food. If they get sick, you got to take them to the doctor. Shots. They need shots, kind of thing. Which is wild because they have 5 kids in this movie. So I mean, like just times that by. I mean, she's what we deciphered that the mom is like a designer. She does like clothing.
Yeah.
And then
Forgot to
I
look that up,
feel it. I
too.
don't remember if we looked up if the dad does anything, but I feel like it's something in finance. They never like specifically state it in the movies. I don't think.
I don't recall. I don't remember. I can't speak. Either
God, with
way
that
on
house though.
That's-
I mean, the house is in Illinois, but
It is in Illinois. It's
Yeah.
suburbs in Illinois, and it's the 90s.
yeah, and it's also not that they don't film to. I was gonna say this is. I think we all know this fun fact that they don't actually film inside that house. They just used it like on the outside.
Yeah.
They filmed in an abandoned high school, which they also used for Ferris Bueller and Uncle Buck.
They're only the only way they address like the parents' finances or what they do is Peter McAllister is a businessman and his wife is a fashion designer. That's
There
all
you
we
go.
get.
There you go.
There we go.
Businessman. And what business?
New York
Fucking
Batman's
good,
here.
good business. Oh yeah, we were saying that. Well, I'll call my good friend Jeff Epstein.
Oh no! We might have. Are
No,
we
you
allowed to
can't.
mention that in the
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah,
Of course
we
you
are
can.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's a Conan joke. It's
Yeah.
really
Oh,
funny.
okay. I was like, I don't want to.
Oh my god. Well, what do you mean I can't call him? What do you mean I can't call him? We'll call someone called Giselle.
How do you know these people?
I honestly forgot if it was Saw or if it was the one before, but I compared one of our last movies to a Twilight Zone episode.
It was Saw.
So
Was it Saw?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, because the second one, Five Strangers in a. Okay, cool. So this one, I also have a Twilight comparison to as well. And I don't know how well versed everybody is in Twilight Zone, but it's the episode The Good Life, and I know they parodied it on The Simpsons. It's when Bart has all of his powers and he can make things happen. He turns into a Jack in the Box, yada yada yada.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
know
it's that
was the name
episode.
of it.
This is a very loose comparison, but very much in which like a single young child is in control of a lot of the madness that's happening around. So very loose connection. I just think like, I don't know, there's some part of me that's like everything around us is like, like you guys said, it's always connected to Seinfeld minus Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I think it was the three things. It was like Seinfeld,
Simpsons.
and like Family
Family,
Guy.
yeah.
Between all three of those, it's been done. Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think great movie. A lot of fun traps
Yes.
that we remember. Do you guys have a favorite?
Yeah, I was gonna say
For this movie or just all time?
we'll do for both.
We'll do for
Yeah, I was like,
both?
we'll do per
Okay.
per
Definitely
movie.
when Peggy's had to get set on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Just his facial reaction in that scene. It's
The wide shot and
Yes.
then the close up on it. And it's
His
the same-
face.
I love how that was
Oh,
directed.
my
I love it, dude. It was perfect. It was a great scene. So that's personally my favorite for this one.
It's beautiful.
For the first one.
Yeah. I agree. But since you said it, I'll try and be different because, just to throw it out
I thought we
there.
got the same one for the second one too.
The second one I have like three that I.
Oh yeah.
I have like a top three, but for the first one, like when he puts that whatever that thing is on the door,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
what the hell
yeah.
that shit is. But you can see it when he slips on the stairs and he's like still trying to get up. You can see that door handle is red hot, and when he grabs that, it makes me really laugh. And it's like puts it in the snow and it.
Yeah, because in the distance you just see that. It's
That
red,
bad boy-
dude. It's so
Boy,
red.
hi.
That bad boy cooking.
Dude, it's so red.
Oh, dude.
I love the continuity too in the second one where like when he goes to grab him, you can still see the M on
Yes.
his
Yes.
hand.
Yeah.
Like, I
Brandon
think
with
that's
the
so
like,
great.
I'll
That's a
never
great scene.
forget the McAllister family.
Yeah, it's so good. Mooney, do you want to do yours or?
my favorite one from the first one, I just think because it's funny and it makes me laugh, is when they make Harry into like a chicken, the chicken suit with like the feathers and everything. I just think it's funny.
Oh yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one.
It's like a
Was
good,
that where he
funny-
puts like the glue on the plastic and he like
Yeah.
wipes it and then he goes?
Yeah, like it doesn't necessarily like hurt him in a way, but
It's
it's,
just
just
silly.
It's just
it's
like a
silly.
fucking-
It's like a
yeah.
good,
It's a cartoon type of
funny-
like.
No, once again,
yeah.
very cartoony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Wile E. Coyote shit.
Yeah, Looney
Yeah.
Tune type of fucking gag.
Which I also think is great because I feel like Kevin McAllister has a thing for birds that continues on into the second one too with like his traps and stuff.
Ooh,
That's true.
Yeah, it does.
Birdman,
Yeah, the second one is very much filled with just birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Pigeon Lady.
Birds of a feather flock together. Marissa, what's your favorite?
I feel like one of I did three because I was like, okay, somebody's gonna have like the nail on the stairs. I thought
Oh,
one of you
yeah.
was gonna
Bothers
do
me,
it.
man. It just-
Yeah, I was like, I thought
Save
one of
it,
you was
bro.
gonna have it, so I
Yeah,
put that down. I really like also like the spider on the face just because of his scream. I
Such
think
a great
Daniel's,
scream.
Yeah,
Oh,
Daniel
yeah.
Stern's scream is just amazing.
And just the hand putting it there.
Yeah, and you're just like
Yes.
see it that
Coming
point of
at-
view. But my personal favorite that I always go, and I remember just from the like, I think it's just so like symmetrical and like the choreography is actually the stairs in front of the The cars in front of the stairs. Sorry, the little toy cars in front where they're running through into like the lobby foyer area, whatever we decide to call it, and they both slip and they just both like in unison drop. And I just like I love that. Just like visually, it's just so appealing to me. And then cartoony wise, I think it's very comparable to like a banana peel, where you see somebody like go like you could literally throw in the sound effect of like whoop and then
slide whistle.
Yeah. So very, I just like love that from a cartoon aspect. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else that we want to throw in for Home Alone?
I don't think so.
Before we rate this bad boy?
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I agree.
No CGI, all stuntman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
There was only one stuntman in the film.
there was only
There
one.
was one.
Yep.
It was for Macaulay Culkin. They hired a very short 30-year-old man to do all of his stunts because he was too young to do his stunts at the time. Just thought that was
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is the research this bad boy.
Anyway,
That being said,
so we'll
who
rate
wants to
this
kick
now.
us off with their rating first?
I'll go. I feel like
Go
I
for
never
it.
go.
Hit
I was
us.
like, I feel like I never go first
I know,
for
yeah.
ratings. So
Boom, go.
I know. I feel like there's so many things that like arguably are like that you could argue against with this movie, like in terms of like reality and ability. But I feel like this is one of those movies where you just kind of throw like the book out the door and you're just like, it's just for a good time. Like it's supposed to be just like family fun. Like don't consider it too seriously. I think for the nostalgia factor, like the heart factor of like, you know, the mom's trying to get back home kind of thing, even though the parents are garbage. For the fact that like it's a family, like family friendly, it brings them together, kind of wraps it in a nice little neat Christmas present under the tree kind of thing. It's not another Santa Claus and elves. This is like actually something that could possibly happen versus like a, you know, magic that's happening in the air kind of thing. I will actually give this, I know I said it before that I would never do this. I am going to give it a 5 out of 5.
Whoa! We gotta have something special for that.
Well, just because I love it. Yeah, I was like, I love this movie. I watch it every year.
The Golden Poppy.
I've even like, I've forced a friend of ours to watch this who hadn't seen it just because I'm like, no, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna watch this because this is an amazing film. Like I watch it every year. I'll watch it multiple times. Very quotable. I think it put Macaulay Culkin pretty much on the map. Even though he's been in other stuff, I think this is like his thing. Like at the end of the day, this is what he's going to be known for. And then, yeah, just musical score wise, I mean, you can't go wrong with John Williams. So overall, I just think it's great.
It's a great movie.
It's a great
for
movie.
sure.
I'll watch it every time and still enjoy it.
That's something that, like you saying that, I'm not like out of left field. Like, no, absolutely not. The
Yeah.
movie's like I could understand this being rated that highly for sure.
It's so great. It's classic. Just classic movie.
I agree with a lot of the points that you brought up. I think it's a very nostalgic movie. It's very memorable. It has a lot of scenes that I just remember off the top of my head. To me, I would not describe this as a perfect film. However,
Oh no, not at all.
I find myself just enjoying myself watching it and just having a good time, that I feel like I just cannot critique the movie in a negative way. It's a great Christmas film, and I just enjoy it. And it's one of those that I could put on and just never be bored. Like watching the first one, I didn't even go on my phone at all. Like I just loved it so much.
Went
and
on
I
our laptop.
Oh yeah, for the second one.
For notes.
But I highly think that this is a movie that everyone should see at least once in their lifetime. 4 out of 5. Joseph?
Yeah, I think this is a great Christmas movie. It's very whimsical. Obviously, you can nitpick anything. The family's annoying as shit. I don't remember them being
Oh,
that
yeah.
annoying.
No,
they're
they're
terrible.
terrible
Kevin's a
human
brat,
Yes.
but his family's
Oh, for
also
sure.
annoying. But other than that, it's like it's again a great Christmas movie. I love the traps and just the setting and everything that they do with it. I'm at a 4 out of 5. I really enjoy this movie. I think it's like one of those must-watch Christmas films. So
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
you put it on every December or the holiday season, it's a must-watch for me.
Yeah.
Like
it's
you
great.
have to see it. It's just that great of a film. So yeah, I'm at a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think that the setup for this one is a little more believable than in the second one.
Yeah,
Oh, for
I agree with
sure.
that.
I mean, we'll
100%.
get into the
Everything's
second one for
laid
sure.
out to a T because they're like, how could when they were making it, they're like, well, how would you forget a kid at home? Like,
Yeah.
well, he's got his ticket, and it's like you can see when they clean up the milk, they throw it away. It's a very quick shot,
Yeah.
but you see Kevin's ticket in the trash, and his name's written on there. And then when they're counting the kids, one of the stupid neighbor kids there, but he's
That's in
turned
the car,
around,
yeah.
But they count his head, and then when they finally get to the airport, everyone gets on, and no one's out of place because Kevin's ticket's thrown away.
Yes.
Everyone that went there all got counted.
Yeah.
So when they get there and they go, no, everyone's good, we're good, okay. And then you realize
Everything
we
just
forgot
fell into
Kevin.
place.
Yeah.
Like even
Phone
from the
lines are
crew.
down. Can't call
Yeah.
him. He can't call
Yes.
you. Just isolated.
Yeah.
Everything was. No, we took care of that.
There's no cell phones
Yeah, no cell
happening.
phones.
They
Yeah.
can't find tickets back right away. They can only find one seat.
Which is true for
And
Christmas
then
if you're
when-
traveling.
When
yeah.
she's in Scranton, she can't get a ticket to Chicago. It's just to get the ride all the way over there. There's so many things that just take place.
Yeah.
Sheboygan?
Yeah, yeah. We sold a lot of CDs in Chicago.
You know,
Sheboygan.
polka polka. Kiss me polka.
Yeah. For me, I'm at a 4 for Home Alone 1.
All alone.
No,
Little Five
you're not.
Island.
Well, I mean, yeah. But no, I think that's a great thing. I think we'll get into it. for
I don't
the
think.
next
Yeah,
time.
I'm not arguing that it's a perfect film. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like what I'm looking for specifically for what this movie is like
Definitely.
trying
It
to sell
delivers,
me.
for sure.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I'm in. I probably will give another movie a 5 at some point, and it's not going to be a perfect film. It's definitely going to have flaws, but like
Yes.
for me, movies are about the entertainment value, not necessarily always like the likability, probability. Like, there's got to be certain things like. That you just have to feed me and entertain me, and as long as I am entertained at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
And that's where, like, for me, these two movies don't have the same score.
Oh, like Home Alone 1 and 2? Oh no,
I can see
the
that,
Home Alone
100%,
2
yeah.
will not, like, spoiler, will not be getting a 5. I'm just
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
for me, it will be getting a higher score than
really.
Ooh.
than
Okay.
Home Alone.
Ooh,
Can't wait to hear that.
This one
Yeah.
we might have to debate a little bit.
Yes.
But
Maybe a little, but they're like how the set. Well, now we'll go into it right now.
Yeah,
Go-
let's get
go
into
into
it.
it.
Go into it. Speaking
yeah,
of
we're in
which,
it.
Dive
Yeah, I was
head
like, we're
first.
in
Home
it
Alone
now.
2 Lost in New York, 1992. It was
1992.
1992.
1992.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, let's talk numbers on that. How do we
Talk
do
numbers,
this one?
man. Well, first of all, Macaulay Culkin again, $110,000 in the first one. Got paid $4.5 million to return for the sequel. Plus, he got a 5% of the gross of the movie. Budget for this one though went up
Pretty penny.
10 mil to $28 million. Box office a little bit lower. 100 mil less lower than the first one.
Ooh.
359 million. It started off hot. Like the first week was bigger than the first week of the first movie, and then it just kind of slowed down completely by week 3. So cinema score is also an A minus. First one was an A. This one is an A minus.
Still a great rating.
Yeah.
This one's an A minus?
Yes,
A
cinema
minus.
score is an A minus.
Shocking.
Still in the A's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still pretty up there. So yeah.
I still think this is a great movie. I think it's.
I
I,
agree
think
too.
it has its flaws. In as I don't think that this one sets up
Well,
well. Yes, this as well as they did like everything to a T in the first one. This one I feel like it was kind of not done as well.
I agree.
Because it's like, why you gotta have to do your batteries right now? Why do you have to do that right this second?
At this
because
moment.
well,
And you're
to
not
be
even
fair,
gonna use
for a
it.
kid, everything kind of has to be like right now.
I understand.
So-
I understand, but I don't know. It seems like I want it because I want to use it right now for something. And
Yeah.
he didn't even fucking use it. He just ran to the gate.
But also like the same thing happens again with the clocks.
Yeah, you would think like, and it's literally like like in their
Year,
world,
yeah.
a year
Yes.
later. Like
To-
you're telling
to
me that
the-
she would like.
To the day.
Yeah.
If I
To the
was
day.
like the mom, I'd be like, Kevin, you were attached to me with what was those kid leashes that people
Those, like,
have.
handcuff
yeah,
leashes they have?
like I'd be like,
Yeah.
you're on
Oh,
me
they're
now.
on their way out, and they forget him again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's barely said, but like, yeah, good thing I have my own ticket.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's in the front
He's already in the
seat.
car,
Yeah, he's already
yeah.
in the front
he
seat.
did like his own thing. Like, I'm gonna make sure I'm
Ready to
Yeah.
go. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're not going to make sure I'm here. Nope. Like I have
Yeah.
to do it on my
Trust.
own at this point.
I would never trust. My
And I think with
parents
the
ever.
battery scene
Oh,
too,
yeah.
like obviously he didn't have to do it then, but like the family's so chaotically running that it's just like you're gonna just leave your son behind you at an airport. Like you're not gonna make sure like all your kids are in front. Like let's go.
Especially
Let's
this
roll.
one kid that you've
already made
forgotten.
this mistake. Like how do you do this
Yeah.
again in an airport, busy airport during Christmas? Get in front of me and go.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Which
not gonna just-
arguably too, like your like potential, like depending on the personality of your child, your kid would likely be scarred by this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like, do they even know that he did anything with the robbers?
I don't. No, he doesn't give
No,
himself
because
credit.
I think the only
for
thing
Yeah.
he finds is the dad finds the golden or silver
Yeah, but
tooth.
he has
and that's
no
it,
idea
but
what
he doesn't
it
know it's
is.
from
Yeah, he
because he
doesn't know
just
what it's
asked her
from.
like, "Honey, what's this?"
Yeah.
And that's the last thing we hear from the dad in the first one.
Yeah, because if I was like Home Alone and robbers tried to break in, like that's terrifying for me. Like maybe not that I would fight back and like put them behind bars, which is great. But like it's still terrifying to be home alone and like have these strangers that are like they make up their mind pretty quick that like they're coming after him. Like
Yes.
they're gonna kill him, which like that's the the crossover of like, oh, it's okay that he's harming these people. Like because arguably like how many times are like if you try to go into a house, you burn your hand, you slip and fall, and you do all these things. Like, are you really trying to get back in that house? Or are you
On
gonna
to the
try
next joint.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
are you
know?
like as Kevin says, like, are you thirsty for more?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, do you really want to potentially get hurt? Like even more so than you already potentially are.
Yeah,
Like
no.
it's insane to me. But yeah, the fact that they were able to do this, like if they weren't bad parents in the first one, they're even worse parents in this one.
I hate them more in the second one.
Yeah.
They're
They're so bad,
Oh,
dude.
and you mentioned it earlier too, the Buzz.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's just relentless.
Especially when they're having
in
like
this
that
one.
family meeting. It's
Yeah.
like you already know. Like,
It's on display too. Like
Yes.
every single
Well,
person
and
in
why does
family
the
watched
rest
that
of the
happen.
family have to be there for like this basically like lawyering,
Yeah.
Yes.
like of like a like
It's
family
trial.
court? Yeah, it was like family
Yeah,
court.
like-
It's like it should just be like an
McAllister court.
immediate, like maybe the two parents,
Yes.
Buzz and him, and
You're gonna put
just
the kid on trial
settle
after
it.
what he just dealt with a
Literally
year
on
ago.
trial. Sorry,
No, you're good.
literally on trial where he's just like, and that's what I present to the family. I'm so sorry, and then
Yes.
he's just like basically like trout sniffer, like.
Yeah,
Fuck off, Buzz.
The parents are worse. The family's worse. I hate the uncle, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Uncle
he's
Frank.
so-
Uncle Frank is so
He's
bad.
the worst,
However-
man.
Such a piece of.
Very- also, this movie very quotable.
Yes, no,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
the-
Little
Oh
jerk
no,
scene.
Yes.
super quotable.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert!
Yeah, I'm gonna slap you,
Great
silly.
especially the callback later on in the
Yeah,
hotel when they do
yeah.
it again
Oh,
with
so
the
good.
giant clown
Yeah.
thing,
Oh, it's so
dude. I
funny.
love that. Yeah,
Yeah, that whole like choir scene is a joke to me. Like the fact that they like everybody like and the whole audience is
is
laughing
laughing,
at this
dude.
kid.
Like,
Yeah.
your parents. Like,
Just
what are you doing?
terrible.
Yeah, like
Which
your
like as a
uncle's laughing,
kid,
I'm
like too, like a lot of kids like can't perform live. They'd be terrified. So I'm just like this poor and even the mom, like you can see it on her face while it's happening. She's horrified.
Yes.
Like that this is happening and that you take Buzz's side in the
and
end.
they still take it out on him.
And they still take it out on
yeah,
him.
it's like,
Yeah.
what the hell are we doing?
Which is wild to me because I feel like in the 80s and 90s, like being the youngest sibling was always kind of like, oh, you're considered like the most annoying and like you're kind of like, like she said, like, oh, Kevin, you're such a disease. But I feel like flash forward now, a lot of kids that I know that have multiple siblings or more like one or two brothers and sisters, like being the youngest, like you're coddled. You're such a like you're the baby, of the family. Like everything like, oh no, come here. Like it's okay. Like you're very much babied. So it's wild to me that they're just like, oh yeah, Buzz is obviously right. And even
Yes.
like in the scene where they're opening presents, where they're like, he's like, hold on, everybody, like listen up, like, cause I'm the
leader
I'm the
of
head
the
of the
pack.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just
Not the
like
dad,
I'm looking at
not
the dad
like-
and I'm
yeah.
like, get out of
What do you
here,
mean,
bro.
shut the
Fuck up,
Useless.
Buzz. Sit down.
Yeah, like shut up. Like
Sit
let's
down,
how
Buzz.
about I want more from the dad. Like I want so much
Yes.
more from him, which obviously we're not gonna get. Rest in peace, John Hurd.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think
Sharknado,
that
man.
like a Home Alone 3, if they were able to get all the parties involved and they did like a more connection between Buzz and Kevin, I think that it could come full circle, and I think that it would be a great ending, like very Toy Story 3-esque way to Home Alone. Like get rid of all the other ones, like Home Alone, Scarlett Johansson Home Alone or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
I read one thing that when Catherine O'Hara agreed to come back for her role for Home Alone 2, she wanted her character to seem like she cared more about forgetting her son. So she wanted more scenes to show that she was a concerned mother, because it really bothered her in the first one that it kind of just came off that she's very like aloof to her family, like her son missing and everything.
Yet they were.
But I feel like
This one's worse.
I didn't
Yeah.
get it from this one. Like, I know
Yeah.
she
No.
tried harder. She's like, I'm not staying behind. Like, I'm going to go look for him too. But I'm like, but I don't know if it's just because she didn't get enough, like, scenes that we saw, like, in the movie where she came off as, like, a concerned mother.
Yeah. 'Cause
I did
that's-
not
that's
get
the
concerned.
main-
I didn't get
I
it in
didn't
the
get
second
it
one at all.
either.
I
I
felt
did
like the
not
first
get
one
it.
they delivered more than
Yeah,
the
I got
second
it.
one.
I also like I think it took this watching too, where like for a while, like I understand that he chops his own Christmas tree down in the first one, and then like in this one he goes to see
The one in
Christmas-
Rockefeller.
yeah, Rockefeller Center, But I was just like, when do they ever state, besides those two moments, that Kevin really loves Christmas trees? Like at the beginning of the movie, she's like,
He says
"What's
it
your
in
thing
the
with
beginning.
Christmas
He
trees?"
says it,
Does
yeah.
he?
Yeah, in the first one, he's like, well, blah, blah, there's no Christmas trees and whatever.
Yeah, because in the
Wherever
second
they're
one, she
going,
goes, "What is it
Paris.
with you and Christmas
Yeah,
trees?" And I was
why?
like,
He's
"Is he
'Cause
really
it's
like
Christmas
a?"
And I want to be with my family. I don't know.
Yeah, because even before they're
I
going to the Florida
guess.
trip, she's like, well, there's palm trees. And it's like, yeah,
get
but it's
decorated
not
palm trees.
Christmassy. And like,
But then again, it's like, why do they want a snowbird so bad? I guess maybe because, I would too, I guess, in Illinois. It's
yeah.
fucking cold as shit. And you're just like,
Escape
nah,
the
I want to
winter
go
tundra.
to...
Yeah, dude.
I know.
But to Paris?
Yeah, that's
Isn't it
that's,
snowing in Paris? Yeah, I was like,
It doesn't.
Does
I don't think
snow
it
in
snows in Paris.
Yeah, but you're gonna
Maybe
take
if it's very
that
cold.
bundle of
Maybe.
kids.
Yeah, you want to take. Yeah, you want to take your.
bundle
Yeah,
of
we talked
kids?
about
Yeah,
this.
it's
Yeah, I
like,
was
come
like,
on.
do you
That's
really
not
want to
good.
go to Paris?
Florida. Okay, maybe you're taking them like Disney World or something because you have the money. Fine,
Yes,
but
well,
They took him to Miami.
They went into the middle of a fucking hurricane.
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So it's like
Yeah, hurricane
they're
season.
better off in New York.
They have the
Yeah.
worst
Oh, yeah, that's
timing
true.
on vacations.
Oh, the
No.
worst.
Well, I mean, they kind of deserve it. They're terrible.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I think you
They're
mentioned it briefly, but like in all of New York, she finds him. Like he even goes, "Lady, like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack," and it's like, yeah. And like because of the if it wasn't for the Christmas tree thing going on,
She
like
would
she
never
would have
have
never
found
found
Well,
him.
they don't have any really big, giant Christmas trees in Spanish Harlem. I don't think so.
No, the
In
biggest
Brooklyn?
one would be Rockefeller Center.
They don't have any nice trees in Brooklyn.
Just
Well,
sticks.
Brooklyn's not on Manhattan.
I know,
It's
but
all-
that's
Well, yeah.
that's what joke is.
Oh, okay, you're right. So sorry.
I got no schmear on the.
No shmi.
You know
I
how
want a
Kevin likes
half-
you schmear on a bagel.
I want a plain bagel with a half a pound of cream cheese on it. Half a pound. A half a pound.
I think this one adds a lot of notable like characters. Like speaking of which, when you brought up
Cedric.
Cedric, yeah, I was gonna say Rob Schneider, Tim Curry, Brenda. What is it? Brenda Fricker.
Yeah, Brenda Fricker, and then the lady who marries cousin It.
yes.
never
You brought up
remember her
yesterday.
name,
And then, as we noted at the beginning, or as you noted at the beginning, our one-time president, maybe two-time president, Donald Trump.
They filmed it
Maybe.
in my hotel. Wow. Look at this movie.
So that was the deal he made with them, so they could film in that hotel specifically. He was like, "Yeah, you could do it, but I need a cameo in this."
Yeah.
And it's funny because if you go on, what's this kid's name? I'm blanking.
Who?
Donald Trump?
No,
Kevin.
Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah,
Macaulay
there
Culkin.
we go.
Okay.
Macaulay Culkin. He'll always tweet like, "Can somebody just take him out of the film? Give me the movie with
I'm
him
the
out."
star.
You
I'm the
arguably
main-
could. You could
Yeah.
cut that whole scene,
That whole
and
scene
it
and
would
just
still,
get to
yeah,
the
because
next
it's just
part,
him
yeah.
being like, "Where's the lobby?" And
Yeah,
he's like,
and that
"Oh, it's
was
right there."
basically the deal. And then when they agreed to the deal, when they started filming, then they gave him a fee.
But I mean, to be fair, like every time you're filming at an
Yes.
actual place, like you have to pay like a fee. So
Yeah.
I mean, like I would argue that for him regardless.
No,
Like,
but
the cameo,
originally
I
he
feel, is
agreed
a
not to
bonus.
do it.
He agreed not to.
Oh,
get
he
the-
He was like,
did?
he's like, yeah,
Oh,
fine, but I
okay.
want a cameo because the first one was such a big hit.
Yeah.
Awesome, it's gonna be great for the hotel.
I would just do both.
And
I
then-
would just be like,
yeah.
pay the standard fee, and like, could I get a cameo in there? And then you don't have to pay me for the cameo.
Yeah.
Just throw me in
Just
there.
throw
I
me
won't
in
be
there.
paid. I'll have my line because when you have lines, you get paid more.
Mm-hmm.
And just go about your day. But I mean,
I'm the star.
it's all about the money.
It's my movie.
Jeffrey Epstein, the financier.
I would like to argue.
So sorry.
I mean,
How are we always mentioning
But
Epstein?
the financier.
I would like to argue that Tim Curry's character, Mr. Hector is his name, that he is just doing his job.
oh yeah,
I feel like he is towing a gray line though when he.
Oh, when he enters the room,
Enters the
he's
Wild.
definitely crossing the
Wild.
line
Like,
there.
Yeah.
But I would
Wow.
argue that like he's just kind of like, hey, there's this kid with a credit card. Like, what's going
Stupid.
on?
I haven't seen him with a parent or
Yeah.
anything. He just walked in here.
Oh, one of your favorite lines too. Sorry, before when he makes the reservation, just like, this is Peter McAllister,
With
the
the top-
father.
This is Peter McAllister, the father.
Oh, so good.
I told her, yeah, like that's been stuck with me for 30 years.
The
I cannot
father.
unhear that line.
King
Such a good
size
line.
bed.
The father. One of those tiny refrigerators you have to open with a key.
He's a bougie ass kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that room is like, I
that's
wonder, that
beautiful
room
room.
now is probably like, what, $1,000 a night, if more? Not
So
more?
I knew you have that.
Oh, do you?
tidbit.
Yes.
No,
'Cause
I
that's
don't.
Oh, they have
You don't?
they have a package deal.
I
They
gave
get
it
the
to
Plaza
Joseph
Hotel.
Oh, okay.
It's the Plaza Hotel has a Home Alone package
It does.
where you can get. I don't know if it's a specific room.
I don't think it's the same
'cause I think they
room.
remodeled the room. already.
Okay.
But you could get that room if you want to.
Does it come with an ice cream bar?
I think it comes with certain stuff
It's like a
from the
Sunday.
film.
It's like a Sunday.
Like
thing.
they'll bring you,
You have the
they'll bring
Sunday
you a
experience.
limo. They'll have pizza in the limo. You can go sightseeing where the movies was filmed at certain locations. I forgot how much it is.
Well, if
but
you guys want to see us do that, go ahead and let us know down in the comments, and we'll see if that we can't make that happen.
yeah, that's a whole thing you could do. Still
It's
to
like,
this day.
I want to do
You
that.
think
Yeah.
I don't want to
It's
do
literally
that?
called the Home Alone package.
It's a Home Alone
love
package
it.
with the
A
Plaza
cheese
Hotel.
pizza.
However,
A steaming hot cheese pizza.
him doing all that stuff in the hotel, or are we saving that one for later?
No, go for it.
So his room service bill, like when the
Oh, it
dad
was like
at the very end of the movie,
$900
he's
or
like,
something.
You spent $967 on room service. And he's like, inflated today.
Mhm.
That's about $2,000
Yeah.
alone in room service for
Ooh.
ice cream and cheese pizzas.
Yup. And to
Yep.
Laundry his boxers.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
they
the-
charged him for the cheese pizza
Yeah.
and
yeah.
the limo?
Yeah.
I believe.
Well,
Well,
Oh, yeah, no, I thought that
for
was-
sure
yeah.
the ice cream. For
The ice
sure,
cream,
the
yes.
first
Yes.
night, whatever he did on
Yeah,
the
but
I
when
first
he-
googled
night,
that one. Hold
it
on.
was all
I'll give it
that.
to you guys.
Yeah, because I
the
thought
movies, the movie rentals,
the movie, yes,
Movie
yeah.
rentals, the boxers, the laundry.
Yeah, the boxers for
laundry
sure. Yeah.
Whatever else he might have.
But I
done.
feel like the limo
The
and
limo
the
and
cheese
cheese
pizza,
was on that.
yeah, was
You're
on
right. That
on
was
the
the
house
guess.
because he walked in on the dad.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
He's trying to make.
If you saw my dad, my dad said,
You walked in on him like that. What you want to see?
But I
"Do you
mean-
want to see him again?" No, you're right.
To be fair, I would argue though that like he is just trying to do his job. Like,
it was going that deep into the room. Going
oh
into
yeah,
the
no, he
bathroom.
went
That's
to
where
the
he crossed,
bathroom.
like,
Yeah. No, he crossed the line as soon as he entered
Yes,
that room.
yeah.
But I argue that besides that one instant, like he's just trying to do his job.
Yeah.
Like this is an argument where like I'm going back now and like we talked it before, but like Billy Zane in Titanic, not a bad dude. He's just trying to protect his lady. He's just trying to give her all the
certain
finer things.
He probably didn't have to do, but I mean, of the time.
No, like the end
That's
scene
how
where
you
he like
told him?
basically
Right.
like clips him to the pole and like leaves him for dead. Shitty ass move. But to
also,
be fair, like
that's
he's
my
coming
lady,
after
dude.
your woman, man. Yeah, he's like coming after your
Like, yeah,
lady.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
not the part I was talking about, but I mean, he did
Oh, what
rough
part?
her up a little bit.
You're, yeah.
What
Bitch,
part?
you're my lady.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
he
when he
smacks the
smacks
shit
her.
out of her.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
And it's
I think
like,
he slaps her
well-
once. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
but he
I mean,
saves
hey,
the
that's
kid.
what you
But
had to
he
do
saves the
back then.
kid. He takes the one kid. Like he picks up this random girl and then like
For
puts her on the.
self-preservation of him.
Oh yeah, that's true. Huh?
That was only so that he could
Facing
get on
death.
the lifeboat.
Oh, so they can get on.
I had
yeah.
my child.
Ah.
Oh, get on here, sir. And that's how
Yeah,
he
that's-
gets. That's how he lives.
Yeah.
But he saves the child.
He does, but
To
that
save
child
his
is
ass.
probably gonna be.
We
saved
love Billy
regardless.
Zane though.
Uncle Billy's great,
Dude, he's great.
Billy, if you're watching, thank you so much.
The Marlon Brando
We love
movie.
you.
Though.
If you ever go to a convention and Billy Zane is there, you absolutely need to go talk to him. He is one of the nicest men ever.
Yeah.
He's super great. And he's been in so many great films. So great. Love him.
One that we will talk about soon.
Yes.
Yes.
I was like, huh, what?
Little teaser for you.
I saw a review. I didn't go too far deep into this review of this movie that basically said it was the Godfather 2 of Christmas movies.
Yeah, no, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
That checks out a little bit.
I saw that and I was like,
no, it is good.
Yeah.
No, it's a solid
What?
sequel, and it's a Christmas movie.
I-
It does, yeah.
okay, as much as I love the first one, obviously I give it a 5 out of 5. I would argue and also support this movie because I support it in the terms of like it still has like, you know, your classic runaround of like cartoonism. It has great quotable lines. It's got like definitely great characters. And by great characters, I mean like Tim Curry's and Rob Schneider's and all that stuff. And I love the dynamic duo between Marv and Harry, as always. But I would argue that the traps are worse. Like the bricks alone, they're already dead. And then two, the
should've died
likelihood.
They would have died
Yeah.
in the first
Yeah.
one.
Well, I mean,
You
Yeah.
really want to get down to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
brain
yes.
trauma
I feel no,
several
but I
times.
feel like with the first one, I feel like those traps weren't like yes, they definitely would all together, but I would argue that they would likelier survive the first one than the second one.
Yes.
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 But it's wild to me that like this would happen a second time with the same kid, the same family, doing the same shit. Like it's insane to me that
Yeah.
this would happen again. And then not only that, but they happen to be in like the two robbers happen to be in New York at the exact
escaped
same
prison
time
and
as
got
Kevin.
there.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not even that they escaped prison. Like that could happen.
No,
like
but
arguably
they ended up in the same location
at the
on
same
Christmas.
time. Yeah. At the same 2 days that Kevin's there.
Manhattan, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's wild to me.
Yeah.
And that they happen to be robbing the one toy store
That-
that,
yeah.
Macaulay Culkin's going to. Like, it's insane to me that would happen. So, I mean, like, it's hard because, like, as much as I propped up the first one of like, doesn't need to be believable. Like certain things could happen. It is more realistic. And in this one, like, it's just like, I can't believe they lost him again.
in New York City.
I can't believe they lost him again. Not even in New York City. They lost him at the airport.
No, but for all those things to happen according to the way it happened in that
it just seems a
location,
lot less probable.
Yes.
Like this one, it seems likely that like he would like they would clean up and accidentally throw away the tickets because all the tickets get milk on them. They microwave them, and that makes more sense. Like there's just so much more believability in a way. So it's crazy to me that
the second one, the
happen.
setup and everything, way less believable.
Yes.
and
harder
then
to
my
believe.
last point being that like the pigeon lady became homeless because her partner left her.
What was hard for her, and she relied on him.
Some people
For
love their
certain
partner so
things.
much.
That they
I think-
become homeless.
I think it was because she didn't have a job because he didn't want her to work, and then after he was like, you know what, I don't even want to be married to you anymore, and she was like, I haven't had a job in 15 years. There's this huge hole in my resume. He said, fuck you, get out of my house, and then she was just she
Wild.
couldn't get a
And then
job.
she has a nice little palatial estate at Car-
15 years, I can't have a job. Pigeons.
yeah.
just straight to pigeons.
Pigeons.
I mean, how does it happen? Would you do that? Would you be like, pigeons?
I mean, if you're living in Central Park,
gotta-
they're everywhere.
I mean,
I'd be the skateboard guy. Like you
Joseph-
just
Joseph.
push myself
in New
forward.
York, especially because there's so much like homeless. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's like
It's a big city.
No, I got no. This question has to go to Mooney. Mooney, let's say your partner leaves you. Is your first instinct pigeons?
I hate birds, so no.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
or homelessness.
I hate birds.
squirrels. I don't know, like
I mean, if it came
Dolphins.
down to
You're
it,
telling- she got no friends. She got no family. She got
didn't.
nothing.
She
didn't.
didn't because he wouldn't allow it.
but she can't.
But you couldn't like
all her
shelters.
family- all her
You
family
couldn't
died.
like.
Oh
She could
shit!
have gone to a
But
women's shelter.
pigeons.
She's weird. She likes pigeons.
And also, not even just the pigeons, but she's got a nice palatial estate in Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, that's true. She
Well,
has
she-
the greatest see of the house.
She breaks into the attic and stays up there.
Yeah, at
She's just a
Carnegie Hall.
squatter.
Oh, yeah.
Squatter.
Nobody pays attention to that.
Yeah, and I have a nice little penthouse up at Seagersham.
yeah, seriously.
I'm just
It's just
chilling
like
up there.
Sinatra played here. I'm
Wild.
like, okay, I'm like, damn.
Pigeons.
And I saw everything. Also, she's Irish, or is she American?
She's Irish.
Irish.
In the
Irish.
movie, or I know in real life, but in the movie.
In the movie, she has an Irish accent.
Yeah, she does. She has
She
her
does?
accent. Yeah. Dude, she just won an Oscar 2 years before for My
Yeah.
Left Foot.
Worked
She don't
for
need to do
Tammy.
shit. She got the Ann credit.
Yeah.
Even Tim Curry didn't get the Am credit.
No. And then pigeons come in handy in the park scene.
Oh,
they
yeah.
used over.
They do.
I looked it up. They used over 300 pigeons for that scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that many wings since the birds,
But it don't.
Yeah.
right?
And then to
I was
play
like,
off of yours, I read that they use an actual pigeon to fly into Marv's mouth.
Yeah.
And he was
Jeez.
so disgusted by
Well,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it really went in his mouth.
I mean, yeah.
It's kind of gross. I'm not
But even
gonna lie.
like, yeah,
That's
in the
disgusting.
birds,
In New York City,
I was like, they
pigeon too.
took her apart too.
Hood-ass
The birds
pigeon.
took apart Tibby Hedren. They used real birds and animatronic birds, and they friggin' went to town.
Yeah, but did it go
terrifying.
in your mouth?
I mean, it might have. They pecked
You
her.
never know, yeah. They could-
I haven't seen that movie in forever,
Yeah.
but
Oh, it's great. It's
Also,
terrifying.
the original title for this film was going to be Home Alone, Alone Again, which the director was like, it sounds more, well, it doesn't sound like a sequel. It sounds like we're just doing it again.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah. Well, I mean, they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm like,
Essentially,
yeah.
yeah, because didn't Christopher Columbus say that it's essentially a requel?
yes.
Yeah.
It's almost in that. You have to think of it in that vein instead of like, well, they did it again.
They should have just done the Home Alone 2 Electric Boogaloo. And
Yeah.
Because he said that he
Run with
cut
it.
a scene too where he was doing like the shaving cream.
Mhm.
He's like, it just seems like
It's a
we're just
yeah, it's a
repeating the
repeat.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's my
eyes.
biggest problem too. It's just like, as much as I love it, like it's a little bit of a retread. So, but I did like the part that they actually went, like normally in sequels, they go to Europe, and the first one they go to Europe. So in this one they stay within the American land.
yeah.
So I mentioned it in the first one that I did the Looney Tunes casting.
Mhm.
So in this one I did it for a couple characters as well.
Go for it.
For the pigeon lady, I did Witch Hazel.
That's funny.
For Cedric, I actually gave him Daffy Duck because of the greediness. Mr. Duncan, I gave Michigan J Frog. And then I recasted Harry and Marv as Spike the Bulldog and Chester the Terrier.
Yeah. That's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Shut
Like you
up,
combine their name
shutting
as
up.
Harvey.
Oh, and then Tim Curry as Mr. Hester, I did Wile E. Coyote.
I love you. Also, how loud was that TV?
Oh
It's
yeah.
Where like
so
that couple
loud.
comes out and they're like holding each other, like, oh my God,
to make
this
it
guy-
sound like there's actual machine gun.
Yeah.
Like it's just I don't
Crazy
think
man
that
with a
TV
gun.
sounded like that back then.
That's really funny with the Looney Tunes characters though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could do the whole. I didn't do everybody, but
Yeah.
I could easily just go down the list of
Yeah.
cartoon characters.
Since we already did it for the last one, what's your favorite traps for this one?
I like the toolbox coming down and hitting the door.
Oh,
and
it's great.
squishing
That was
them, 'cause
mine
I
too.
I don't know
Yeah,
if it
that
is.
was
I thought
mine.
it was a callback to the other the chair getting pushed in. I thought it was a callback to that, but for them with the door. And then when they just fix their nose.
Oh, it's
at
very
the same
cartoony.
time.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, very, very Looney Tunes again, and like I love that.
It's
How
such a
slow it
great
is,
one.
too.
Yes. Well, I love
How
that
does
they're-
it not just?
Yeah, I just fall.
Yeah.
Even if it did though, that
Yeah.
still would have like.
But I just love how like what is that? It's getting closer. Like what? They're just like
It's
right
so
there.
good.
And
Yeah.
instead of just
Listening.
opening the door again, like
They just wait.
Yeah.
Like
It's so
What
good.
is that?
I have two that I love. The
can
first
say
one
all
is
of them,
the
it's super-
electric sink. I just think it's so memorable.
so
It's just
good.
funny.
Great one.
It's
He
Ryan's
would have
favorite.
instantly died.
Oh, 100%.
If he didn't die from
Was it
everything
car
else.
battery he hooked it up to, or was
Yeah.
it like
Yeah.
a voltage meter?
It was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's like a whole
Something.
thing.
Something. It was that one. And then the other one that I like was when they're going up the stairs, she's like, not 1, 2.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah, that was a
the
good one.
3, and it's like, and then they just fall all the way down. It's like 4. I just think it's another like funny little cartoony one, like the chicken feathers.
Yeah,
and
the
shit.
chicken feathers.
It's really good.
I wrote down 3. Joseph already got my tool shed, the tool shed box, whatever thing. I like the one where he like burns. I think it burns his head again. Is
Yeah.
that this
Yeah.
one? Yeah, and
The
he
sec-
like
yeah.
lifts himself up onto the toilet and does like a beer keg stand, and then just like gently lowers. I'm just like 10 out of 10, man. Like
Yeah.
I mean that's
That's
the
like
stance alone is
What a move too! Like
Yeah.
instead of just taking the beanie off your head.
yeah. You
Just
just,
full-
Jesus
right in the
Christ,
and
yeah.
he gently just
Kickstand that
And
bad
the
boy.
windows.
yeah.
Apparently he actually did get hurt.
I'm just
Yeah,
During
he
that
did burn,
scene,
yeah, he
yeah,
did burn
he
himself.
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
he burned himself. But I really like when they're climbing the rope and he sets it on fire. I think that's just very like once again very cartoony of like the no go back kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
and it also like remnants the
From
one
the
where
first
the
one,
first one
yeah.
when they're going down the rope and he's like, hey guys, check this out. So I think it's a good callback. I think it's very once again cartoony of like you always see them like light the fuse and they're kind of thing.
Yeah, I like my favorite is for sure the sink. Yes. It's stuck with me for so long. I remember wearing out like my Home Alone tape, just rewinding it.
Just to see the skeleton.
Just to watch it again, and I'd just be
Yeah.
like, "Wow, that's really funny." And like one of the first times in like comedy hit me in a way that I was like, "Ooh, I like that. That's funny."
It's so silly.
Forming my
Yeah.
humor. And then also when they're in the toy store, is it the toy store or when he's picking? Oh, after he breaks the window in the toy store, and they're like, "No!" and they jump out.
Yeah.
Marv
the-
gets flown into the air and he lands on the car, and then he goes, "Smile."
Oh, and Daniel
He
Stern
just looks cheese dick
Yeah.
smile.
Great
right at the
reaction.
camera.
Dude, I love that.
So funny.
Yeah.
They also changed their name this one, the Sticky Bandits.
Yeah, they become from the wet bandits to the
The
sticky
sticky
bandits.
bandits.
Well, throughout the film, he just keeps snatching things.
Oh,
with, like,
man.
Oh, the
It's
glove,
so
yeah, where he
bad.
just like in the
Just dude ice skating by beanie. I think they said he stole what, like a beanie, mittens,
Earmuffs.
earmuffs,
Yeah.
a hat, and the change from the guy.
Yeah.
And then I think he never takes the tape off his hands throughout the whole movie. They show it and he still has it on.
Yeah.
so
Sticking to Sticky Bandits.
Sticky bandits.
I have one fun fact that I want to bring up.
Hit us
Since
with
we
it.
are a sequel podcast, I thought this was interesting. So in the first one, we see the black and white film that Kevin is watching. It's called Angels with Filthy Souls. And then in the second one, it's a sequel of the movie that he's watching. So it's Angels with Even Filthier Souls. I was like, oh, that's it's a nice little extra touch that he put in there.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And this is the first time that you get that like that quote that everybody knows, which is like "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal."
Yeah.
Oh, and a Happy
And
New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Yeah, it's so good. It's a
Yep.
great movie.
It is.
It is. I wish that it was real so that I could watch it because it seems like a banger.
Oh, the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
The Angels with Filthy.
It gives me very much like Roger Rabbit-y, like very old school, like film noir kind of vibes. So
That's
I
what
love,
they're
I love
going
it.
for, and they achieved it. What else do we have for this, or do we want to start rating this bad boy?
The only last thing I have is Kit McCulkin, which is the dad
Oh.
and manager of the kids.
Mm.
Apparently, he was a nightmare to deal with. And at one
Oh,
point
so
during the
sad.
filming of the second one, he threatened to pull him from the film completely, while they're already halfway filming, because he wanted him to star in the horror movie The Good Son.
And he wasn't.
Yeah.
Because he wanted his son to not be typecast.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, halfway through filming, he's like, "I'm gonna pull him if you don't give him that movie."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, I mean, our hands are tied."
Well,
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's the only other fact I had.
I feel like we also didn't mention too that like Kieran Culkin in this movie,
Mm.
whom like I love Kieran Culkin.
especially now.
Oh
Mhm, yeah.
He's-
Oh, Scott
he's-
Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
one.
and then
Succession.
Succession.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great.
Mhm.
It's just comedic timing. I think is great. Even then, with the face and the
Mhm.
chair and everything like that. I actually I don't know how well I like this fits, but I actually casted him as Tweety Bird.
No, it fits.
Mm.
It still works out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like the wedding, the bed, maybe not so much. He's probably more of like, I feel like there's like a I can't think of the character right now, but it's like a squirrel or something that's like very cutesy, but like kind of does like, maybe it's a mouse. It might be the mouse. that I'm
Yeah. I
thinking
want to
of.
say it's in Space Jam. for
Yeah,
sure.
where
That,
he
like,
just like,
mouse.
he's so cute and little, but then he's kind of devious, like drinking the,
Mhm.
and though, yeah. And then we didn't mention that either. In the first one, it's
Pepsi.
Pepsi. And then the second one,
is
it's
Coca-Cola.
Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The soda that he's drinking.
Mm.
I remember having an argument with a family member, and then to find out later, because we didn't.
Mm.
It was like right at that time where VHS was converting over to DVD, so it was like we
Mhm.
didn't have a VHS player anymore,
Mhm.
so we couldn't say like YouTube wasn't really where it is now. And then to just find out we were both right, it was hilarious.
Yeah,
Like, it
it's
was
Coke,
Pepsi.
it's
It was like
Pepsi,
it
it's
was
Coke.
Coke. It was Pepsi.
It's both.
It's both.
Yeah.
So then the third one is it RC Cola?
Yeah, probably.
Shasta.
Little Shasta.
Shasta.
That's funny. Little Fago.
Should rate this bad
Yeah,
boy.
yeah,
Yeah, let's
yeah.
do
Who
it.
wants
Rating
to kick
going.
us off? You
Oh,
wanna
me?
start with
Oh,
you?
I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go
Let's
yeah.
start with you.
And then-
So as much as I love the first one, and this movie's great, like we said, like quotable lines and all that stuff. I love the addition of Tim Curry and Rob Schneider and everything like that. Just it's a little bit less likable, or likely, I guess I should say. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It's still great. It's still enjoyable. I still love watching it. Love all the quotes. But there's just certain things that I like wish they kind of would have tweaked a smidge more. Like maybe it would have been like maybe Macaulay Culkin and then like Kieran Culkin would have been both left behind. So it's Home Alone, like 2 of them being
Home
left Home
Aloner.
Alone. Yeah, like
Home Alone-ier.
yeah, and then maybe like I don't know. I feel like there's certain things that they could make, but
Yeah.
I love my thought idea of like the Home Alone 3 sequel too. I wish like that could be an actual thing, but
Yeah, this movie went through a lot of like rebranding and rewrites and things.
Yeah.
Because
for sure.
John Hughes really wanted to like do it right.
Yeah.
Do it justice and
Yeah.
not just.
Still a great film. Like I
Money
still
grab.
enjoy it. Still will watch it years from now. And
Oh yeah.
but it's just not as good as it doesn't touch the first one for me
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I love both movies. I slightly like this one better than the first one. I think they're both memorable, very iconic. I think this one is a lot more, to me, it's a lot more quotable than the first one is. I feel like there's more action in this one. It's slightly darker with the traps that he comes up with. There's even more traps. The fact that now that their goal is now to just kill this kid. Like, he's like, I don't care if I get the electric chair. Like, I'm going to kill him for everything he's done to us. I just think the movie's iconic, and it will forever be an iconic movie, I think, for generations to come. Give this one a 4.5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Higher than Aliens.
Everything's higher than Aliens
Yeah, damn.
at this point.
I can't wait till I go back and look at that spreadsheet. Like once we like really get going and have all these ratings, or if somebody does it, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah.
For the wiki,
For the week.
the
The wi-
podcast, the sequel wiki.
Podcast,
the ratings.
sequel
Wow.
Yeah, because people do
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's I don't think My Little Pony people actually do that. I think it's like fans actually do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't think it's
No.
like the company that does it,
Mhm.
but I would love to see like our ratings like
across the board.
across the board of like
Yeah.
what was the highest rated on average and like have
Mhm.
those numbers. That would be really fun.
I feel like it's pretty like we're pretty even, like keel, like nothing's too.
I
crazy.
feel like mine is just like
4.
Nothing is
I
tremendous.
was like,
well,
4.
no, I dip a little because I think I gave something like a 1.5. I
Yeah.
gave something like a 4.5 before. So
Probably
it's
Son of the
somewhat-
Mask.
I would think mine is the
Yeah.
wildest one.
No, I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
you're
Son
the
of the
wild
Mask or
card.
if it was.
Oh yeah, yours is
Terrifier.
like
the wild
all
card.
around. Yeah.
But yeah,
I like being the wild card.
Mooney, she's the wild card in the group.
She's eating the cats.
She's eating the dogs. She's eating the cats.
God.
Wow, it's a lot of cats. I said.
I'm conflicted with mine because like the unbelievableness of it, the family's more annoying to me.
Yeah.
It's just hard to be like this all happened again.
Yeah.
There's just no redeeming quality for the family for me at all.
Yeah.
And like just everything that
Family.
takes place is just like a lot of things have to go so perfectly well, and it just does. And it's just I don't know, but at the same time, like I don't want to nitpick it that much. So like I'm gonna get a 3.8 out of 5. Yeah.
Oh, how
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah, because I wanted to give it a 4 because of just there is very enjoyable moments, but then like there's other things where I'm like really like
3.8.
you, like you just did this mistake again, and there's certain things with the parents that just they rub me the wrong way. The uncle's annoying, Buzz is annoying, and like we said, like it just there's just not a lot there that I'm like I love more than the first one. The first one I just love,
Yeah.
and it's enjoyable. This one there's things where I'm just like really, you know. But yeah, I'm good with I'm not really good with it. I'm conflicted. 3.8 out of 5.
He's
Yeah.
so conflicted that he brought fractions and the 0.8.
Yeah.
No.
Not even,
I can't
not
wait to
even
see
like
that.
us
Yeah, I know, that's gonna be a
0.75 or
wild-
anything. Yeah, I was
It's
like,
gonna be
Yeah.
a wild one.
No, I totally get that, and like being an adult watching these films now, I'm like the family bugs, like, and then to try and still be there, like telling him what to do, like it makes more sense now when he's like a little shit when he's like, "Did you pack your bag?" and he does the little talk man.
yes.
Yeah,
Did you? Yeah, and she's like, "Well, fuck you, mom. You forgot me. Remember that time you forgot me at an airport?
Oh, I would every time. Every
remember when
time.
you just left without
Just like,
me
Kevin, eat your vegetables. I didn't have to eat my vegetables when you left me here at home.
on Christmas?
Yeah, on Christmas.
And just keep forever. You get
Oh,
to do that.
every single thing. Did you do your homework? I probably didn't have to do homework when I was left home alone.
I think that's
When I
where the
could've
trial
died.
scene annoys me the most. Where I'm like, really, we're putting him on trial? Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna judge the kid that we
exactly.
left.
Parenting
Want to take out the
choices
want to take out the garbage? I took out the garbage when I was left home alone because nobody else was here to do it.
on Christmas.
I went to the
on
grocery store without you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
I
Christmas.
budgeted. I had coupons, Mom.
I did do everything myself. I had to bring all the bags ripped and everything.
What a funny
Christmas.
guy.
On Christmas.
Yeah, what a funny
What a
guy.
funny guy.
You know what, Dad? You're a fucking asshole. You fucking forgot me.
Oh, just the worst.
But also I do remember, you know, like all these quotable lines that have just really stuck with me. Like something about this movie just like is in the ether of my mind, or whatever you want to call it. Like my vernacular has been changed, my brain chemistry, if you will. And I felt myself coming back to this movie more than the first one. Not to say that I, you know, like one more than the other. I feel like they're both on their own very strong movies. I give this one a higher score just because things that I quote all the time,
How it touched you.
how it touched me, the scene with the electric sink, everything about it. I'm going 4.5 for this one.
Nice.
So with that being said,
Yeah.
is there anything else we want to say?
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
And happy
And
New
a
Year.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, put down in the comments what your favorite trap was for both either Home Alone or Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Reach out to us, let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Bye. everybody.
Thanks for listening. Until next time, the podcast, a show so sublime. Marissa, Mooney, Joseph, and Ryan signing off with glee. Join us next episode for more sequel revelry.